Yeah.
All right. So he calls in for these regularly scheduled appearances?
Weekly, yes.
Weekly, okay. And so what happened then?
After the last appearance, David evidently is friends with the owner of the Hooters chain.
Sure.
And I don't know if it was he or one of his underlings that sort of had the idea, hey, let's do an appearance with David down at the Manhattan Hooters.
Right.
I don't know whose idea it was originally. I doubt it was David's idea, but his buddy probably called him, or one of the buddy's underlings called him and said, let's get this done. He said, hey, sure, why not? And that's how it happened. And then our sales staff got involved.
Sure, of
They
course.
started running some, bought an ad schedule and blah, 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 and then it was happening.
So we relied on the word of our sales department, which is always a mistake.
Well, I think they were just told, and then they, contacted the local Hooters, and the local Hooters bought time and did this whole ad schedule. But the original idea was from, I believe it was from the Hooters people.
On themselves?
Yes.
Do you think that Wells knew anything about it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because he originally had said, well, let me do it Tuesday. And he's like, oh, no, I'm pitching Tuesday. We'll have to do it Monday.
Right.
So, yeah, he knew. And I actually called his...
How do you know that he changed the days? Who had that conversation with him?
I did not. I mean, that was the original discussions. That's what was relayed to me through our management here, that, that he was aware that this was happening, surely.
Oh, okay.
And I actually called his agent Friday, and his agent had no idea it was happening, but I wanted to have some discussions with him about possible autograph opportunities and, crowd control, that sort of thing. And his agent was going to contact him and discuss those things.
Was it a crowd control problem, by the way?
Well, the fact that, he didn't show up, so no.
No, but had he been there?
No, I don't think it would have been a big issue.
Yeah, how many people do you think showed up? I mean, we have footage of it on MSNBC. It looks about 10 people.
Well, early on, there was, probably about 30 people. But
about 30 people showing up.
Early on. At its maximum, right around noontime, I would say there was close to 200 people.
So, but hardly a Howard Stern-like appearance where there were thousands, right?
Or an Imus book signing, sure.
Right, okay. Same. Well, we signed books for 11 hours, right. So what are you guys going to do?
Well, I just enjoyed the day at Hooters. That's
not the answer I want, Eddie.
What am I going to do? I'm going to do nothing. I'm an underling.
He should be banned from the program.
No,
Don't you agree?
No. I do not agree.
Here's the problem. Well, how many what?
How many chances were you given in your life?
Well, because I was coked up and drunk.
Well.
And they made a lot of money from me. That's the only reason they cut me any slack.
Well.
So you're going to give the guy a chance here?
Oh, I'd put him back on.
Oh, you are a disgrace.
What about a guy like Suge Knight?
What about Suge Knight? Suge showed up, didn't he? Didn't Suge show?
Showed up the second night.
He put his face into place.
Well, was he supposed to be here the first time he didn't show up?
Yeah, what happened then? What happened?
Well, refresh me here. What happened?
Suge was he was delayed and he couldn't make the first day.
Oh, well, then at least he called, didn't he?
I believe so.
Oh, absolutely. How'd we know about it? He called from the airport.
That's right.
And he was willing to stop by at 10 minutes till 10 o'clock.
Yeah, Eddie.
And we said, well, no, Suge, take a pass, come the next morning. So, but we don't have a contract with Sid. We're not Suge Knight. We're not enamored of Suge Knight. And
Eddie's trying to deflect it, obviously.
Plus, we didn't have a remote schedule. We didn't we didn't sell an advertising schedule, and we weren't at some sponsors with fans. So one of them called me this morning and had taken off work. He and three of his buddies.
Yeah,
so,
well,
that's very weak, Ed.
So you have that's a very weak response on your part. I mean, the guy's got to be banned from the. First of all, he's not like it's a Hall of Fame baseball player.
I understand
that. Fat slob. He's not dealing with Bubba the Love Penis from some jerkwater town in Florida. I mean, it's a big-time radio station.
But you kind of got the idea, like going in. I knew that there was a chance that he wasn't going to show because, he's David Wells. Kind of what you see is what you get, and you got to know these.
He shows up to pitch, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Why can't he show up for this?
Half the time when I'm trying to schedule his next appearance, he doesn't even know. We got 4 games in Boston. No, we got a day game on Thursday. So he knows when he's pitching, and that's about it.
Well, no, I've heard him on the air. It's not, he's not a great guest. He's not.
He's fine.
He's what?
He's fine.
He's a
Jesus, Eddie, you are disgraceful. What's happened to you?
Really, man.
Of course, Eddie is the guy who comes to work wearing a Dan Marino jersey, both home and away.
Yes.
During the football season, so.
Cries when
you guys all act like squealing little NSYNC fans. It's frightening.
I honestly really don't.
He should be banned.
I disagree.
Even Francesca and Russo said that.
Oh, well, then it must be gospel then.
Whoa, no. Come on. What are we saying about Francesca and Russo now?
It was an ultimate humiliation. It was
that's exactly. Thank you, Bernie.
You can hear the sadness in their voice when they were on the air yesterday. Well, look, you think he'll show up at 5 to 12?
It was pathetic. pathetic. It was embarrassing.
That was an element that was almost disturbing to listen to, was them trying
They were
to
going to start
very
crying on
awkwardly
the air.
cover. They say, well, we're
Well, I don't
waiting
know.
for...
Right.
Well, he's bound to be here in a minute.
He's caught in traffic.
He's
I know it.
well, he's just 20 minutes into the show. He'll be here.
Then having a
that
contest and
was
picking out people picking out fat people in the audience who could fill in. I mean, it was sad.
That was uncomfortable.
Yeah, he's trimming his beard. He'll be over in no
actually
time
was.
flat.
Just
I'm
sit
sure
on
of
the
it.
phone, by the
We
way.
have to just.
Yeah.
We should not take ourselves so seriously as this is some huge transgression that has occurred. I mean, come on.
He was the
humiliated.
linchpin of the promotion.
Eddie, you are a disgrace. You're
Hey,
unbelievable.
all I know is that I got paid to be at Hooters for 3 hours.
Oh,
That's all I'm saying.
get
You
out
could
of my
die now, right?
studio. Eddie Scozzare here on the Imus
no
program.
wonder he works with Sid.
The producer of the
Humiliation.
Sid Rosenberg Jody McDonald show, and no wonder he does. A very good point, Bernard. Hello, George. God almighty, that is disgraceful.
What's happened to him?
Well, what? I mean, that's pathetic.
But you're right, though. It is the sycophantic mentality
That's exactly what it is.
that affects a lot of these people here.
Oh, my God.
I don't know what he's doing.
13 after the hour. What news we have,
That's Eddie,
Charles?
who we thought,
That's
he's his own
some
man.
balls, frankly.
And that guy
Right, he's the guy who walked in and put money in Merle Haggard's hat.
Yeah, what happened?
That's that guy.
Hey, I'm Eddie Scozzare.
Not anymore.
Merle Haggard, who is an American icon and a genius.
Notwithstanding the fact that he looked like a hobo.
Well, whatever.
On
I mean,
Fifth
David
Avenue.
Wells wouldn't make a pimple on Merle Haggard's ass. He would make a pimple on Kurt Schilling's ass.
Well,
Here's Chuck.
all right, couple of the things. Osama bin Laden's henchmen huddled with top Hamas and Hezbollah honchos less than 2 months ago in Beirut for a terrorist convention that U.S. officials fear laid the groundwork for some sort of new attack. And it's believed to be that the session that was held March 23rd launched the recent flurry of intelligence chatter over the internet and cell phones that U.S. security officials take as a very serious signal of another attack on American soil. U.S. officials have repeatedly warned in recent days that an attack is inevitable. In fact, FBI Director Mueller...
Put this picture up of old Katie. Here she is, spilling out of her bathing suit. She went on a vacation to Hawaii recently. When she got home, she saw these pictures and was horrified.
Oh,
Right.
That's not me.
That's David Wells pulling up his pants, man. That's not Katie Couric.
I can't say it.
Where's the monitor?
Is it on MSNBC?
See here.
Why is it we don't have it? Why don't I have it on my monitor here?
Little Miss Couric there, having a little bit
go
of too many
ahead.
Boston creams there. She's 5'4",
Right.
130 pounds. And she's lost 10 pounds now, so she's
Right.
at 130 and vows to get down to 120.
She needs to.
So-
I mean, my wife's 5'8" and she weighs 120. I mean,
Yeah, well, your wife's very thin. She's very lean.
but if you're 5'4" and you weigh 130,
30. She's at 130.
And you've lost 10.
You've
Right,
lost
she's
it.
You're
lost.
up to
She's
140?
I mean,
She could run for
God.
Congressman Nadler's seat.
Good.
She's
Lord.
soft, just a little soft. At least she's got some willpower, though. I mean, Al Roker got his stomach stapled because he couldn't put the barbecue spare ribs down.
Right.
So. And also, take a look at this picture. Can we get this one up? Bernie, are we on? Are we
Well, we
get
don't-
on the monitor for him?
Unfortunately,
I have no
we-
idea what they're doing.
All right, well,
Unfortunately, we are like most of our listeners
Yeah.
listening to the radio, and so we can't see anything.
all right. Well,
Just describe this for us,
all right.
if you can.
The next picture that we've got is in the New York Post today. Maybe the first picture of The Sopranos' James Gandolfini with his new hot steaming girlfriend arriving at a movie premiere in New York last night. She's very cute.
Right.
Can you see? Do you see that?
Looks like she's about 12.
Exactly. Tony was reportedly slamming this chick while still living with his now heartbroken wife,
Okay.
who is home feeling sorry for herself,
Couldn't we say pounditating?
pounditating.
All right. Thank you.
All right, stuffing her face with yodels and devil dogs, no doubt. Quite frankly, doing her best to look like Big Pussy.
Yeah.
She should get her fat butt out to the gym. Sorry,
That'll be
but she
fine.
needs a little bit of
God.
firming up there, just like Miss
Fine.
Katie Couric.
Thank you.
Do the right thing.
Christy Musumeci here in the Imus program. It is 27 minutes after the hour. Unfortunately, we like to provide a window of purity for our guests, like the next guest, who very well could have been the President of the United States. But, well, that didn't work out, but it's always next time. The senior senator from the state of Arizona, John McCain. Good morning, Senator McCain.
Good morning, Don. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. I'm sorry I had to be butted up against that scum report, but...
Always find it interesting, the dietary habits of people I grown to know and love.
So...
You're going out to New Mexico next week.
May 31st we start.
It's drier than it's ever been.
Yes, I know that. My brother was telling me that. So.
It is a drought of incredible proportions. I was back in Sedona last weekend before I went to Wake Forest to speak at their commencement, and we've never had such drought. The lakes are drying up, and Barry Goldwater used to say we have so little water in Arizona the trees chase the dogs, but now it's the truth. It's a very serious problem, and I'm sure you're going to have to watch out for these fires. We had one near Prescott that took out some.
With the great Warner Wolf.
You're gonna dig until the day you die. It's all according to how your boogaloo situation stands, you understand?
Have mercy.
Good morning, Warner.
Good morning, I-Man. In one of the worst foul shooting exhibitions in a professional playoff game with both teams combining for 25 missed foul shots, the Kings held on and beat the Lakers 96-93 after leading by 15 in the fourth quarter. Kobe Bryant, playing with food poisoning, scored 22 and hit a three-pointer to cut it to 3 with 12 seconds left, but Rick Fox missed a three-pointer with 8 seconds left, which would have cut it to 1. So the series is tied 1-1. The Shaq at 35 points. Chris Webber, who missed 8 out of 11 foul shots, had 21, and Mike Bibby 20. Kings forward Peja Stojakovic, who averaged 21 points a game this year and has missed games 1 and 2, still doubtful for Game 3 Friday. Baseball, the Red Sox beat the White Sox 9-0, the forfeit score. Derek Lowe, 8 innings, 2 hits, now 7-1 with a 1.90 ERA. Yankees, 12 out of 13, beat the
Eddie
Jays 6.
Scozzare. I'm sorry, Warner.
No, that's all right.
What a wimp.
Well, agreed.
Even Jody, I asked Jody about the Wells situation. He said, of course, I got an eye shift from him, but
Yeah.
he said, well, he didn't have any problem. He said, he effed us. I said, well, that's right.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Humiliated. Dissed you big time. Can't just overlook that because he's David Wells.
Some fat loser, some Bubba the Love Penis butt boy. God almighty. Anyway, Warner continues.
Football, NFL, Ravens linebackers Ray Lewis and Peter Boulware did not show up for the Ravens' 4-day mini camp after promising to do so.
Maybe the next remote they can schedule is at the Hall of Fame when Wells is inducted into. Oops. Maybe that won't happen.
What is that?
Here's Baltimore coach Brian Billick on the fact that Lewis and Boulware didn't show.
You would think with the electronic age that we have, with every gadget in the world, the least you could do is call. I'm very disappointed. We deserve better than to not at least get a phone call.
That's right, you got a call, just like David Wells.
Hey, the guy killed somebody, so he doesn't show up for practice. What's the big deal?
That's a very good point, Bernard. Maybe you could wake up in there, Lou.
Imus in the morning.
If you're going to run 24 hours a day, 7 days.
Program, Reverend Al Sharpton.
One of the most anticipated sporting events of the year is the annual golf classic known as the U.S. Open. Traditionally, the event is held at some snooty, elite, totally restricted private club. This year, history will be made as the U.S. Open is played on a municipal, daily fee, public course. A turn of events that, unfortunately, does not change the fact that the only African-American playing in the tournament is Tiger Woods, a man who don't even consider himself black. And when you hear him speak or get a load of that hot, steaming blonde girlfriend of his, you're inclined to agree with him. The first time the Open is held at a place where blacks are officially not excluded and Tiger is the only one who's showing up, it's an outrage. Not to mention ironic, especially considering that the Open will be played on Bethpage State Park's legendary black course. And the only blacks you will see on it will be bussing tables over in the refreshment tents, which is emblematic of the greatest, saddest truth about professional golf. Aside from caddying, y'all don't want us on the links. From an African-American golfer's perspective, it's anything but a fairway, which is unfortunate as black heritage is richly steeped in golf history. Back in 1896, when John Shippen became the first black to play in the U.S. Open, he began the second day of the event tied for first place. And then took 11 strokes to complete the 13th hole, pretty much ensuring that the rest of his golfing career will be spent on courses where the 18th hole is a par 2, and if you get the ball into the clown's nose, you get a free game. But African Americans made contributions to golf off the course as well. A prominent black dentist named George Grant received the first patent for the golf tee, but never marketed it, allowing himself to be ripped off by some old-fade golf thief who patented his own version and eventually was credited with the invention. Tiger's talent, as well as his quest to officially win an undisputed Grand Slam of events, are obviously the reasons why he will play, but one wonders why such great African-American pros like Jim Dent, Walter Morgan, or Lee Elder aren't coming off the seniors tour to take a shot at the cause. And the answer can only be this. Bethpage Black is such a legendary cause that thousands upon thousands of golfers over the years have sought to take on its challenges, the majority of whom slept in their cars just to procure a tee time. There ain't any self-respecting black man in the world who would sleep in his car just to whack a white ball with a stick. But it's not something that all you white folk appear to have a problem with, which is not surprising, seeing as how you'll allow yourself to be seen in a green jacket and yellow slacks. Something you'll never see a black man wear unless he's starring in a sequel of Pimps Up, Hoes Down. In which case, he'll also be sporting 18 holes of his own.
Now listen, Sapphire, how would you like to come home every day and find a no-good bum laying around the house?
Well, what you think I've been doing for 22 years? Imus in the morning.
I'm really shocked at Scozzare being such a sycophantic wuss.
Just folded up.
Girly boy.
God, we're wearing obviously just a pair of big old lace panties over this whole Wells embarrassment, which is, the point is, it's not that big a deal. It's not like getting dissed by Kurt Schilling or Roger Clemens or Pedro Martinez or somebody like that, but I mean, nevertheless, they were humiliated.
It's a slap in the face.
Where is Sid, by the way? We wanted Sid on the air. What?
Believe it or not, his phone does not have the capability of receiving calls by request, so he can only phone out, but we can't phone him, so he'll be here shortly.
Why is it that we can't phone him?
It's just the way he wants it.
Tell the fat bastard to get that changed.
That ends now.
So that I can call him. What, is he nuts?
Well, I think he has certain other people he doesn't want to...
I don't care about that.
Hi, it's Sid. Who's this?
Come up with a phone number where I can reach him. Here's Chuck with the news. I sound pretty tough, don't I?
Yeah, you do.
Pretty threatening. What am I going to do if he doesn't do that? Nothing.
Jack squat.
Nothing.
Oh, come on, bro.
What can I do? Nothing. Well, whatever.
I know.
If I could, I would, but I can't. So.
Well, you can talk and bluster and that sort of thing, and
threaten
see,
his job,
and see whether or not you can intimidate him into coming around to your view on whatever the heck it is.
Maybe David Wells tried to call Sid's cell phone yesterday.
And couldn't do it?
Please. Why wouldn't he call Hooters where they were?
Good point.
Hello.
Well,
I will suspend Sid from the program if he puts him back on the air, though. If he's a party to that.
You can believe that.
Yeah, I will do that.
Man ain't playing.
So, no, that only affects his... And it's just a suspension.
Right. Full vacation.
It could last for some time.
Oh, it could be extended, sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, well, it's coming up in 3 minutes after the hour. We'll try to deal with a number of issues coming up here.
Here's today's Rico Technology Minute. Multifunctional devices, also known as all-in-ones, can print, copy, scan, and fax.
Up a little bit on 48 hours, you know?
Leave him alone. He doesn't need some ball-headed sports punk. Good. Telling him what he ought to do. Sid Rosenberg advising Dan Rather. I mean,
we're not talking about triple doubles.
Yeah, we're not. But you're a guy who did a remote from Hooters and got stiffed by a fat bimbo like David Wells. And you're commenting on something Dan Rather does? You ought to have your ass whipped.
You know,
and I'm just the one to do it.
Thanks a lot, Hoss.
Now that you put it on its proper perspective, I think you're right.
You should apologize. You should beg the forgiveness of Dan Rather than everybody else.
I apologize to Dan that he's so stiff on 48 hours.
Okay, thanks. Nets lost last night.
Yep, they lost to the Celtics.
Princessa, many other people said neither team would lose at home. Well, hello. Well, there goes that.
Keith Van Horn should do a press conference stating he's not gay after last night's performance.
Either that or, as Charles Barkley said, they should get the FBI to locate him. Where was he last night?
Find his game. Missing. 2 for 12 from the floor last night, a total of 5 points. He did nothing for the Nets last night, but the whole team played badly last night, It was not just Keith Van Horn. The whole club was awful.
They suck. Plus, they're unattractive
people.
Over.
Yeah, it's not over. They're still going to win the series.
No, they're not.
Well, why not?
No, they're not.
You're a fool.
Well, no, they're not.
Well, why not?
They will not beat Boston.
They will not beat them.
No, they will not beat Boston. That is over.
How many games will the Celtics win the series? Just curious.
It's irrelevant. They won't win.
5. How
They
about
won't
that?
win 4.
What? Okay.
I don't know how many they'll win, but they won't win 4.
Sacramento won last game against the Lakers,
They
too. But
suck.
In Sacramento, though.
That's in
This was last night
Sacramento,
was
they
in the
got
Meadowlands.
Oh, you're saying because Boston won that game on the road that now the Nets are finished?
Well, there's other reasons
They were
that we can't go into.
Totally humiliated last night.
4 minutes till they are. We'll tell you later.
I like where this is.
On a cloudy day, when it's cold outside, I've got the month of May. I guess you say, what can make me feel this way? Imus in the morning.
Now showing on the Star Super Bowls.
Back on their show. And here's why. Yes, 19%. No, 81%.
Wow.
And you can vote at imus.msnbc.com. And here's why that poll is significant. Because it's not the people who are voting are not a bunch of sycophantic suck-up either FAN / Yankee fans or just Neanderthal nitwits who listen to sports radio. Just people who are voting on the principle of the issue. The issue of the situation was that Jody and Sid agreed to do a remote at Hooters. And David Wells, apparently, somehow, they thought, and were convinced by the sales department and by the peoples at Hooters, who either have a casual or professional relationship with David Wells, his bimbo pitcher from the Yankees, that he was going to be there. And, of course, he didn't show, and nor did he call, and now he's claiming that he had a doctor's appointment, and which he may well have had. He was supposed to pitch last night and did not, so all of that is fine. The question is, should they put him back on the show? Were it me, I would not. So it'd just be the end of it. And doesn't mean you have to badmouth David Wells. I mean, he is what he is. So, but with Sid and Jody, I think they got to show some guts. I think you got to show some guts, Sid. I don't think you put him back on.
No?
No, I don't.
Didn't he know in advance he was going to have a doctor's appointment?
No, I guess it just flared up. I don't know.
What do you have, hemorrhoids?
What, he's just walking around and he decided to go to the doctor?
No, I don't know. I don't know any of the specifics. All I know is that's the excuse.
I think what you do is you just drop it.
It's over.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I don't think you by the way, badmouth David Wells.
No.
I think that's just the way he is. It doesn't make him an awful person, incidentally. Just makes him irresponsible.
Right.
Which doesn't make him an awful person.
No. Inconsiderate at the very least.
Yeah, he's just inconsiderate and irresponsible, and he's a pretty good pitcher, and that's the end of it. It's like Francesca said, just go out and win the ball games and leave us alone.
He clearly has no respect for you.
Yes, zero respect for you.
No.
I mean, he treated you like you were Bubba the Love Penis. You know, his DJ friend from some jerkwater town in Florida. I mean,
that's not exactly the way you. Well, yeah, that's
the way he treated you.
That's pretty much the way it went. Yeah, that's the way I felt at least afterwards.
Yeah, I mean,
he put one right between your eyes.
That's exactly what he did.
Like you were Keith Olbermann's mother.
He
stands.
He treated you and Jody, appropriately Jody, by the way, just like you were fans.
Yeah.
Like you were two schmucks, which you are, by the way.
Well, I'm not even a Yankee fan, though.
Well,
I mean, you
whatever.
know that.
Well, then, you know.
I like Dave. Look, I like David. I just think he's a pretty funny guy. He does a nice job on the show.
He's not funny. No. The guy is not funny. Maybe he's funny in Howard Stern if he talks about his penis or whatever. Or whether he gets laid or not, or how much beer he drinks.
But
I guess that appeals to some people.
He actually missed the spot on that show also, by the way, so this is not a first-time offender right here, Imus.
Then drop it.
Just get rid of it.
Yes, drop it.
And move on.
Well, here's Christy, which is what we're going to do.
He's got this recurring flare-up thing. Maybe herpes or
that'll be fine,
hemorrhoids.
Christy.
What could it be?
Speaking of scum, here with the scum report is Christy Musumeci. Good morning, Miss Musumeci.
Good morning, man. Speaking of...
That's hard to say, Miss Musumeci.
Miss Musumeci.
Yeah, it is. Anyway, how are you?
Good. Speaking of Hooters, have you seen Unfaithful?
No.
Good movie. Sid.
Loved it.
Loved it. Diane Lane looking pretty good in this movie. She's got the Mahatma Gandhis on it.
I don't like it. Is there a deal where they like the other one was?
Like Fatal Attraction.
Yeah.
Big time sex going on. Soft
No, I
porn.
mean the murder deal. Wasn't there a big
Don't tell. Because people haven't seen the movie.
The genders
I don't know. I haven't seen it either.
There's a surprise thing that happens in there.
The genders are reversed, though. Richard Gere's getting cheated on. Is that correct?
He's getting cheated on, and another
I don't like movies like that.
younger actor plays this hunk type of role that Gere used to play. Anyway, here's Diane Lane talking about how she's more comfortable in love scenes than her movie lovers are.
The actor will say, I'm very apologetic to you if I become aroused in the course of the scene, but then again, I'm also apologetic to you if I don't, so I don't know how to feel. This is the guy talking, right? In some ways, I was more comfortable than Olivier because Olivier felt responsible to me and felt protective of me.
You're a pig, lady.
You're a slut.
You really are a slut.
I love it.
That's a dilemma there. Do you get offended if he does get aroused? Is that a pistol in your pocket? Or, if he's not?
You tell us.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
That Olivier.
I doubt Richard Gere got aroused near her.
He probably got aroused by Olivier. Good-looking guy, that young Olivier.
See what Bill from Chappaqua thinks here on line 6. What do you think, Bill?
Yeah, man.
Could you do a love scene and not get aroused one of these babes?
Oh, yeah, that's real easy to do. I just think of my wife.
Here's Mick Olszewski back. Good morning, Mick.
Jimbo.
Yeah.
Speak up.
What do you want now?
Who's this, Don?
Yeah, who are you calling? Yes, who are you calling? What are you, drunk? Yes, it's Imus.
Oh, man. Well, wait a minute. How can you... Never mind.
What did you want?
I have the answer, Don.
The answer to what?
Well, you told me to look into the John Ashcroft thing and why he was flying government jets.
Oh, yeah. What is the answer?
Well, what happened before he was sworn in, there was a personal threat assessment done by security agencies at Justice, and it was determined that since the John Ashcroft is such a polarizing figure, that the threat assessment against him would be high, and that shortly after he was sworn in, he started taking government planes all the time. It was recommended for his own security, and that during the summer, apparently when this story was first reported, Justice Department officials report that there were actually some threats against Ashcroft's life, and that it had nothing at all to do with any terrorist threat.
As Dan Rather tried to imply on the program here about an hour ago, trying to take down poor John Ashcroft, suggesting that Ashcroft had information about all of us being in jeopardy, and he did imply that, but I think
that was their point. That apparently there were some stories some months ago that implied that Ashcroft was in fact had in fact information that caused him to take government jets for his own security, and he wasn't passing that information along to the rest of the American people. But Justice Department officials say that record has already been set straight, but of course that kind of setting straight never gets as much play as the original accusations. So that's the story from the Justice Department, that it had nothing at all to do with terrorist threats. It had everything to do with personal threats against John Ashcroft. And as I pointed out earlier, many government officials do not take commercial planes as a rule. Like the CIA director George Tenet, he rarely does. Secretary Rumsfeld is always in a government jet, for example, and Ashcroft is given that same kind of security. This, according to the Justice Department.
Great work, Mick. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Jim Miklashevsky, which is why he's a great reporter.
Yeah.
I mean, it was information that was probably pretty easy to get, but the fact is he got it.
Right.
He went and got it. He thought enough to do it, and then pick the phone up and call us and tell us.
How come they never let him anchor the nightly news?
And it's not like we're the NBC Nightly News, but I mean, that's terrific work on his part.
Yep.
It is 30 minutes after the hour. Have we done any spots yet?
Yes.
We did the first set.
Should we take Kinky now or ask Kinky if he'll wait? See what he thinks.
Think we could ask Mr. Friedman if he can hold on?
Well, let me ask him. Please welcome to the program now Richard Kinky Big Dick Friedman. Good morning, Mr. Friedman.
Hey, good morning, Don.
Do you mind waiting 4 minutes?
I can hear.
You do? Well, then you won't mind waiting.
Am I being rude, Mother?
Then you won't.
I'm waiting in the full crouch position.
All right. Can you
I can wait.
Okay. All right. We'll be right back with you.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, a redneck nerd in a bowling shirt was a guzzling Lone Star beer, talking religion and politics for all the world to hear. They ought to send you back to Russia, boy, or New York City one. You just want to doodle a Christian girl and you kill God's only son.
Imus in the morning.
Do you have thinning hair? I bet you hate it, don't you? I know I did. But I decided I wasn't going to take it anymore. I also knew I didn't want to...
Got nowhere to go?
You and I can discuss the Divas Live from Las Vegas last night.
I'd love to.
And how Celine Dion looks like a rodent. Anyway, here now, speaking on behalf of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, please welcome here to the Irish Morning program, the Honorable Edward Moore Kennedy.
Thank you very much. Hello, this is, thank you. This is Ted Kennedy. In light of recent developments in Washington, D.C., I have a brief prepared statement, and I will not respond to questions.
What?
But first, to enlighten the mood, I would like to say what a pleasure it is for me to visit my geographical neighbors here in New Hampshire, even though it required me to have to spend time in Portsmouth, which, although ostensibly a quaint New England town, is not now and shall never be Hyannisport, Massachusetts. Cape Cod and Hyannisport's long and storied history remains unsullied by crass outside influence, despite my liberal voting record in the United States Congress, which would suggest that the Kennedy compound at Hyannis is a part-time homeless shelter. That is not the case. Riff-raff are not allowed access. Individuals of disagreeable ethnicity are either discouraged entirely in Hyannis or given hedge clippers.
No.
If I may offer some guidance, while I am not expert in the area of urban planning, I would note here for Mayor Evelyn Sorrell and the rest of official Portsmouth that one cannot have a proper, quaint New England town and at the same time embrace a retail industry that allows Bob's broiled chicken, Me and Ollie's bread, Water Monkey Funky Outfitters, and some joint that is trying way too hard by calling itself the Ha Ha Ore House. Furthermore, just what is, in fact, in the Piscataqua River. A most unfortunate name. I note also from official brochure material that a principal claim to fame in the Portsmouth area is whale watching. I take that as a personal affront.
Well, you should.
I also note New Hampshire is home to 1,300 ponds. P-O-N-D-S, ponds. Having my own experience with ponds, I'd say that's 1,300 ponds too many. But be that as it may, it does return me to the point of the statement I have come here to make this morning regarding revelations of this week in our nation's capital. And it is simply this. Regardless of certain coincidental events in my past, I had nothing to do with the murder of Chandra Levy.
Oh, fine.
I have never jogged in Rock Creek Park, or anywhere else for that matter. I can merely move, for Christ's sakes. Therefore, let the word go forth from this time and place that as logical as it might seem at first blush, I am not now, nor do I expect to become, a suspect in the aforementioned matter.
I hope not.
However, in the unlikely event that that fate should befall me, at least I now know the place to go, the place of ultimate refuge, where neither I nor anyone else would ever be found. The place Sammy Bull Gravano should have gone. Thank you, Portsmouth.
Senator Edward Kennedy here on the Imus in the Morning program. It is 7 minutes till the hour. Coming up, Dan Rather from CBS News to try to worm his way out of that mess he's gotten into with Attorney General John Ashcroft, I guess. And then Fred Imus will be on, and Frank Rich from the New York Times. I've been to Waltrip. I watched the Boston Red Sox and Pedro Martinez. It seems like he just lets the Yankees get a hit every once in a while just to torment them because...
cat and mouse deal.
Yeah, and even he was going pretty deep in the count of some people. I mean, he was getting it to 3-2, and then he would just strike him out, and it was just effortless. So he must have been screwing around, right, Sid?
Yeah, I think he was just biding his time. He knew he was going to win the game, and that's exactly what he did.
But, I mean, when he goes to 3-2, is he just does that? I don't know that much about it, but does that mean he's just trying to get on the outside of the plate and is missing? And
well, that probably means he threw 5 pitches and 3 were balls and 2 were strikes. Yeah. I mean, if I had to take a guess, yeah. That's
you know
why
I'm going to do?
That's why I'm the best analyst in the business.
I'm going to give your home phone to all the bookies call those and looking to collect. Then I watched Divas Live from Las Vegas on VH1 with when they had no divas.
No, I figured out.
Celine Dion. I'm sorry.
I figured out actually. I mean, to be a diva, it's very simple. It's a dirty wench with a heinous cocaine problem.
I mean, a diva is like Aretha Franklin or
yes.
Or
Aretha Franklin.
Bette Midler. Bette Midler? I can't think of anybody else. Who else besides Aretha?
Aretha's not a diva. She's too fat.
Oh, no, I mean, we're talking about being able, having the chops.
Yeah, but a diva is supposed to be somebody who is also really good-looking. Am I wrong?
Well, that wouldn't be Celine Dion. She looks like a rat.
Well, she's nasty. There's no question about
God,
that.
That's a fugly girl.
When I think of a diva, I think about Madonna.
No, you're an idiot.
I think about...
Look it up in the dictionary.
What do you think it's going to say?
Not going to say Madonna.
Her photograph's not there.
And that's a girl got bugs jumping off her. Which would appeal to you, I suppose.
Yeah, Diva was originally an opera star, wasn't it? Did they usually call them?
Yes, an
ladies of
operatic,
the opera.
operatic prima donna.
Yes. Well, that would be the fat girl. When fat girls
they're usually pretty large.
Oh, okay, then we can. Then Stevie Nicks, who was there last night, certainly would qualify.
A hefty hoe.
Well, that girl has put on some weight, but
you're back to Aretha.
One of those areas, and you're back to Aretha. Thanks, sir. So Celtics and Nets are done.
Oh no, that's not.
They
true.
are. It is over.
No,
it is over. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
you know, it's funny, man.
Okay.
It's funny you would say that because if you were doing the show from Trenton today, you'd be wearing your Keith Van Horn jersey.
No, I wouldn't.
It's easy to say that in Portsmouth that the Nets are going to come back and
it is over.
You know what, man? The more I think about it, the Celtics will win this series.
Oh, absolutely. There's no question about it.
But, of course, I'm just begging for applause up there. Lieberman got booed about 20 minutes ago, and I'd hate to have two Jews booed in a half hour.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T, find out what it means to me. R-E-S-P-E-C-T, take F-T-C-T.
Imus in the morning.
This is Sergio Garcia.
So what's the problem here?
I was talking to three people at once.
What do you do? You put it on hold, or what happens? Huh?
I was talking to three other people, actually.
Who are the three people you were talking to?
Who?
Yeah.
Frank Rich.
Right.
I was talking to Christy.
Right.
And Fred.
Fred? Oh, that's right. We got to talk to Fred, don't we? And Frank Rich. This is not working out. How long are we into this thing?
We are 50 seconds in.
We're 50 seconds in. Well, so we might as well just dump this.
No. We have another minute after this to go.
No, we did. What set is this? The first?
One, yeah.
Really? All right. What am I supposed to be reading? Jeep? Hello? Yes. In the Ford utility race, Jeep is known for legendary capability. Well, that's who sponsored Fred's appearance. So we'll get to Fred in a couple of minutes here. Jeep's ready to rule on a whole new level. I didn't realize the conversation with Dan Randall was going to run quite so long. It did. Because during the Jeep Challenge, you're invited to take Jeep on for more than their go-anywhere know-how. Take Jeep on for great protection, great value, great vehicle. Like Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo. And now with this Jeep exclusive, a 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain pledge on engines and transmissions. And you and I both know you're not going to keep a car for 7 years, period. There's not. Plus, getting into a rugged and refined Grand Cherokee couldn't be easier. For a limited time, qualified returning Daimler Chrysler lessees can get a 19 something. Well, let's see when we... This copy's just not clear when they... Jeep, go get one. It is 28 minutes, almost 29 minutes after the hour. Are we out of that set?
That's it.
We are out now, yeah.
Okay. We're in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, in the music hall here, which is an elegant old theater that has been here since the days of Mark Twain. And I guess Mark Twain actually...
Appreciate car racing when you consider the fact that the New England 300 held on July 21st and the New Hampshire 300 held on September the 15th will both be at the New Hampshire International Speedway.
Well.
Not very far from where you are today. By the way, the 600-mile race this weekend coming up, right there on the hot spots of what to watch on television this week with the Leave It to Beaver Marathon running on Nickelodeon.
Well,
1 and 2.
Does that star Ellen DeGeneres, by the way?
Ellen DeGeneres, funny. Where did that come from, my man? She's not funny at all.
She's not?
No, she would
never has been.
Never. she was a lesbian on television, and people appreciated that, so she got away with it for a couple of years, and then it became no big deal.
She was kind of amusing last night, wasn't she?
No.
She wasn't?
No. You know, the Divas have been going on since 1998, man. It's now in its 4th year in existence, and we've seen some beautiful women up there the last couple of years with the Divas. Gloria Estefan, Diana Ross, Elton John.
Yeah. No.
Running out of material, Rob.
You never had any.
You're on your own, pal. Last night was not a good example of divas.
No.
If we're going to throw up Cher and even the Dixie Chicks. I mean, the Dixie Chicks singing Wide Open Spaces is not going to get it done.
Where was Tina Turner?
Where was Aretha?
I think Tina Turner finally realized that she is 70 years old, you know. I mean, for years, she had those great legs. It was amazing. 60, 65, still great legs, but I think it caught up to her.
She took more punches than Joe Frazier in the Thriller at Manila, but she wore it well. She's a good-looking woman for a long time.
Yeah, that's actually, I don't know how I happened to. It's not that I'm sitting around watching VH1 all the time, but I did see that Behind the Music story on her.
Yeah.
Charles and we're talking about it.
Yep.
No,
that scum she was married to, Ike Turner.
Oh, my God.
He gets vilified, and Ozzy Osbourne is a hero.
Yeah, what's that about?
And he slapped the hell out of his wife, was charged with attempted murder. And everybody loves Ozzy, but to hammer the black man, though, right?
Well, no, I think
no justice, no peace.
Yeah. I think it only happened. It shouldn't happen at all. You know what the point is, you're right.
Sometimes you just have to punch you in the head. It's just something that goes on. If you want, you have to keep them in line.
What do you like in the Nets and Celtics thing?
The Celtics, I think.
That'll be fine, Ozzy.
The Celtics played.
Shut up. What do you like, Sid?
I like the Nets.
That's stupid.
Yeah. Well, I think the Nets are going to win. They were the best team in the Eastern Conference all season long, and they played really terribly the other day. And
they're going to win at the Garden all of a sudden, the Boston Garden.
Yeah.
Or the Fleet Center, if you want it.
How do you
welcome
figure?
to 2002, by the way.
How do you figure there?
What do you mean, how do I figure?
That they lose that badly in the swamp, and they're going to win in Boston. How is that going to happen?
Yeah,
where's the logic?
Yeah.
They had a bad day the other day. It happens to the best of them.
They're going to have another bad day tomorrow.
Even the Lakers lost game 2 of their series, right?
No, because they didn't care.
Well, they'll rebound tonight. You fully expect the Lakers to win.
Well, I wouldn't. Who knows?
Which sets up a very exciting NBA Finals between the Lakers and the Nets.
It's not going to be the Lakers and Nets. It's going to be Lakers and Celtics. I mean, I'm not patronizing these malcontents who obviously, clearly, the people who are still here have no jobs or lives or anything else. So, no, but I mean, it's not going to happen.
Well, how about the Yankees? Are they going to come back tonight and beat the Red Sox?
No, they won't win a game.
Roger Clemens is not going to win in Boston tonight?
Not going to happen.
I think Clemens is going to win tonight in Boston.
Well, we'll see.
John Burkett pitching for the Red Sox, has not lost yet this year for the Red Sox. He's 5-0.
They're going to lose tonight either.
No, he's going to lose tonight.
You know what I want to see? I want to see Roger Clemens fall to his knees in the fetal position and starts doing that primal scream Dr. Richard Janoff deal where he's screaming, Mommy, Daddy, sobbing, and has to be carried off the mound. That's what I want to see.
And they're all clapping back there. 10 years ago, he was the hero of that town. They loved him. You kidding me?
Well, these are the same people who ran poor Bill, maybe not these people.
No, those people.
But the same scum who ran poor Bill Buckner out of town. His kids couldn't go to school. He had to sell his house, and so I don't have any sympathy for Boston sports fans. They're scum.
I will guarantee you.
Caught the ball.
I'll guarantee you there's
yes,
at least...
he should have caught the ball.
One person...
the ball went between his legs, but the guy was injured. He should have been on the field. That was the manager's fault. He made a gallant effort. It didn't happen.
Well, we're happy with the way it turned out, but I guarantee you there's at least one person in that audience, at least one, that has either been to Bill Buckner's house or done something to make Buckner leave the town. I'll guarantee there's somebody out there in that audience.
So anybody who actually drove by Bill Buckner's house and threw something in his house.
Stand up and admit it.
5 people so far. No, there's nobody here. These people are...
the old lady with the glasses on.
That's WEEI's audience, so... Anyway, well, Sid, I'm sorry we don't have time for your sports report, but...
Well, it was fun, and I want to wish the people of New Hampshire a happy Memorial Day weekend. If you like what I do, I'm Sid Rosenberg. If not, I'm Warner Wolf.
I don't want nobody's kiss.
talk to you now about Omni Fitness. They had that big Memorial Day sale, of course. And what are they selling at?
Telling me the Jets are a good team because they're in the playoffs? Bunch of psychos in this place.
What did Benigno say?
Well, Benigno was going on and on about how great the Jets are. And, Benigno went back to church this weekend, Ronnie. Went back to church. Went to God and prayed to God that Vinny Testaverde would play well and the Jets would get themselves a victory. And he sat there and prayed all day. And he thanked God this morning. Joe Benigno thanked God this morning like God actually answered his prayer. Like God actually gives a rat's butt about Joe Benigno and the stupid Jets. Like he's got nothing else to worry about.
Sid's about to have an aneurysm.
But the point is that he actually did go to church. He actually vowed that he would return to the church.
He went to church.
Forever. If God would deliver this win, that he would return to church faithfully committed.
He's going back again on Sunday.
That's the guy's a mental patient. I mean, that's the guy's dangerous.
No, he's a little retarded. You got him. That's idiotic. I mean, look, I appreciate the passion of fan like anybody else.
Yeah.
The guy used to bring in Milano cookies for breakfast. Now he brings in communion wafers every morning. I mean, the guy's real serious about this whole thing.
Yeah, it's just...
He thanked God. Today for delivering to him, Joe Benigno.
Him personally.
Personally. The Jets win.
Redskins beat my Arizona Cardinals.
Well, Redskins stink too, and the Cardinals stink, and the whole league stinks.
Hey, my Bills did well.
Now your Bills stink. They're an embarrassment. They got 3. Don't even talk about the Bills.
75% of their crew is.
Eagles beat Tampa Bay last night, and was that? Well, why play that game?
Well, it doesn't mean anything.
I understand that.
Because they're going to play next week anyway in Philadelphia, the same exact matchup.
And the Eagles are going to win again.
Well, I'm down on the whole league right now, to be honest with you. Down on the league.
How do you see tonight's game? Minnesota-Baltimore.
No, it doesn't even matter. Baltimore's going to win because they need to win to get into the playoffs. If the Ravens lose tonight, Imus, then the Seattle Seahawks will make the playoffs and not the Ravens. And I told you on Friday that the Vikings, Dennis Green, the coach was going to walk away, even after Fred picked the Vikings, because he thought they'd play hard for Dennis Green tonight. Well, Dennis Green is not even on the sideline tonight. He's done. He quit on Friday afternoon. So the Ravens will probably win that game tonight because they need to win to make it to the playoffs.
There's no chance that the Minnesota can win.
No. There's no chance. Unless Joe Benigno goes to church and prays for the Vikings to beat the Ravens tonight. He's obviously got the red-hot line to God now. I don't know how he worked that out.
I'm disappointed in your performance this morning.
What's that about?
Just everything. Get out. We'll talk later.
That's it? We're done?
Yeah, you're done. Get out.
Finished?
We're talking about Ron and Fred. We have a couple of minutes left here. The message of the markets, how financial markets foretell the future and how you can profit from their guidance is published by Harper Business. It has a new, as they often do in these paperback things, it has a new introduction, hopefully not a Stephen Ambrose situation where you scam Sue Herrera's book. How's she doing, by the way?
She's doing, well, she had laryngitis for last week, but she's coming back today. She's doing all right. She's doing very well, thank you.
It's not a bad, there's too many people on CNBC. I mean, it's just, you can't keep track of all of them. But it's actually pretty good. We watch it all day.
We appreciate
we
that.
watch a little.
You need a Nielsen meter, though.
Pardon me?
You need one of those Nielsen people meters for
We do?
Yeah, so we can count you several times.
Well, I think the September 11th situation and the news affected you guys more than it affected.
Yeah, I mean, although, on a year-to-year basis, I think business news ratings, as the newspaper said the other day, were down about 6% for us, which is not terrible. And Business Center is actually up year over year, and that's was encouraging.
Yeah. So
things are going well.
Who's going to be on your show this evening?
I don't know yet. Haven't been in the office.
So you've just completely lost interest in it?
Yeah. Not at all.
Well, you don't have any idea. I mean, I can tell you who's going to be on my show. I mean, I'm sure.
Well, you've got to compute. Let's be honest here, Bernie. Everything you know comes in over the screen. It's right in front of you. Yeah, I know. Martin Fletcher from Israel. Yeah, I see the same thing. Line 5 Bill from Chappaqua. I mean. I've not been in the office since
listen,
Friday
one of the great mornings in the history of my radio program will be Wednesday morning when I will have actually live in person here. Rap impresario Suge Knight. Marion Suge Knight, my man.
I know. I heard that on the way in, and I'm honored to be on
Suge
in the same week.
Just out of prison?
I call him Suge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I call him Mr. Knight.
Suge coming to see his East Coast bitch.
I woke up this morning, my jacuzzi wouldn't work. Then the butler quit on me, man. Can you believe it? Jerk. Must have been my artistic temperament he couldn't take. How come nobody wants to give me a break? I got the blues right there, mean and low. I'm as low as the heels of my alligator shoes. You should know how it feels to have these millionaire blues. Millionaire blues. Oh. I
sedans? Maybe it's that Sentra has won Best Small Car in TV's Motor Week Driver's Choice Awards. Or that the New York Times calls the Sentra the best pure driving machine in the compact car class. Then again, it could just be that the incentive to buy a Nissan Sentra has never been more attractive. Because with low 4.9% APR for 60 months, plus $500 cash back, now's the best time to get a great deal on a Nissan Sentra. Hey, if you were a compact sedan, you'd be jealous too. 4.9 APR, plus $500 cash back on a Sentra. Hurry to your Nissan dealer for great deals on the best cars. Nissan, driven. Offers end May 31st.
Cashback not available on SCR models or some leases. $18.83 per month or $1,000 borrowed. Down payment may be required. Subject to NMAC credit approval. Must take delivery from your dealer stock. See participating dealer for details. Call 1-800-648-7038 for offer and award details.
Are you paying... That she is dating more than one person, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, do either one of them think that they're the one? They're exclusive. Yeah.
I don't think we're having that conversation, so...
Is either one, shall we say, further along than another?
Oh, what do you mean, Mike?
Is one, say, on first base and the other headed home?
You're choking up on somebody's bat.
Round the third.
If your radio light sucks in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
Is anybody on second base?
Maybe.
Somebody's on second base.
Maybe someone's on second.
Is anybody on third base?
No one's on third.
No one's
on third, and no
Anybody on the mound? You know what I'm saying?
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
No, Mom. Didn't invite him to a wedding.
Well, I'm not running everybody I know.
And then she invited Lou and Les said Lou couldn't bring a date.
Well, no, Lou didn't even ask me if he could bring a date. Lou just said he didn't want to come.
Well, the latest outrage at the radio station.
Well, it just gets
is that Lori. It just gets somebody. It gets. You know what it gets?
Chief
It gets
troublemaker
disturbing.
is what we're going to call you
It gets
now
disturbing.
on. That's it.
Well,
Just
swirling.
Yep.
chief instigator. Trouble follows you everywhere.
There's apparently some jealousy or animosity or something that exists. It's almost palpable between Christy Metamucci.
Yeah.
And what's her name? Christy Carlo.
Christy.
Whatever.
Christy.
Christy, who is our news editor and fill-in anchor, and Lori, who's the traffic lady, that I didn't know anything about. And
we were innocents in all of this.
And Lou and Bernard can tell you that Charles and I, and usually I'm the last person at the radio station to have any idea what's going on. Is that true?
No question.
I mean, I don't. There are people who work in here. There are people who work at this radio station who I say hi to every day. Not every day, but every time I see them, I say, "Hey, how you doing?" I couldn't tell you their name if somebody held a gun on me, and it's just because I don't know what's going on. I got a lot of things in my mind, and I'm not that bright. So anyway, I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff, and I don't get involved in office politics.
And people only tell you what is required of them, and then they get the hell away from you as fast as possible.
That's true too. People don't want to come in and hang out in the office.
Hey, what's going on with Lori and Christy?
No.
Or you just tell them to get out anyway.
And we can't get any. We're not going to get anything from Lori about the real truth of all this. So,
except that Christy is a little flirty out in the newsroom. She's popular with the guys, and that may be a source of irritation amongst other women. I'm not saying Lori necessarily, but maybe she would confess that it is, or maybe she'll deny it. I don't know.
What?
What would have brought this up as a source
that
of
Christy
irritation?
is very popular and flirty with the guys. She has them all under their thumb, and everybody, swoons when she walks by and this and that.
Is that the deal?
Sort of, yeah.
Really? No, Lori, is that the deal?
I don't know. Is it Bernard? I'm not a guy.
Is that the source of your dislike for Christy?
So it's jealousy.
Source of the outrage.
Oh, well, all right. Well, why would Lori care? She's getting married.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Ahmed.
No, I'm not saying that women can be petty at times. I'm just, just laying out the facts.
Oh, I see. She thinks maybe...
Bernard, why are you creating something that doesn't exist?
We're speculating.
She thinks Christy's a little too flirty with everybody?
Why would I care?
Have you noticed that? I haven't.
I have not.
Well, how would you notice, though?
No, you wouldn't know. Lori's used to working with whack jobs, with blubber-butted news writers like, whoever we had in the past. And all of a sudden, this little hottie comes waltzing in, and all the guys are like, oh, my God.
I see.
Oh, I get it.
I don't know if that's the case at all.
I don't get it. You'll have to explain it to me. Why would that bother me, Bernard?
I have no idea.
Well,
you'll have to answer that yourself. You have to look within yourself.
Look within yourself and come up with the answer.
Maybe we have to look into why this is a source of irritation for you. Both of you.
It's,
Why, I mean,
because you and Chris are fighting, and we don't like it. In the
We're not
Imus family,
fighting.
we don't
we
like
to
to
stick
see
together.
discord
we're
on
not
the staff.
fighting.
Would rather see harmony.
We may start fighting with you, but we're not fighting with each other.
Well, you go out there and make up.
Give her an
Imus
invitation.
Morning
Let's sit
program.
in traffic.
Here is Officer Brando, who is on line 1. It sounds like a more serious issue than we're dealing. Go what?
Hi, Don. How you doing?
Hang on a second, officer. What, Charles?
I don't know.
What did he say?
I said, no, Lori said, just go really quick and go sit in traffic. I mean, this is so
Good morning, Officer Brando.
Hi, how you doing, Don?
What kind of officer are you?
Police officer over in New Jersey.
Oh, you are? How are you?
All right.
Good.
I was wondering if you can help us out a little.
I don't know.
One of our guys, his son is going to the hospital today for a operation. He had a mole on his face. It ended up being cancerous, and it spread some different parts of his face and his neck. And he's a real big Devils fan, so we've been trying to get somebody from the Devils to go up there and possibly see him, and we haven't had any luck. So we're just wondering, he's going to be up at Hackensack University Medical Center. Wondering if you can help us, get in touch with somebody or help us get somebody up there.
You can get a ranger.
A ranger?
Yeah. You want a Devil?
Yeah, he's a real big Devil fan.
Do we know anybody who
Well,
can do that for
we'll
us?
put him in touch with, we know some, the publicist people over there.
No.
Because, yeah,
I don't know any of the toothless goobers.
I don't want him to get jerked around.
Yeah, well, our captain had called up the Devil's office, and they told him they'll send a card. It's tough with the players and all, so we really didn't know who we were speaking to there.
How about my next door neighbor, John, Terry and John? I can't think of John. I can't think of his last name now. He used to be a big wheel with him, I think.
Right.
John did. John,
Oh, you mean your next door neighbor here?
yeah, in Manhattan.
Yeah, I know.
John Hewitt, or whatever his name is.
Your good friend, John.
Well, he lived next to him for 10 years. What's John's name? No, not John McGraw.
Oh, come on.
He's a PR guy and did other stuff for the Devils, I think. And John, you know him. Very nice guy. Delightful guy, in fact. Married to Terry Andreas. Yeah, I don't know. Breen knows him. Call Breen. Breen can do it. All right, we'll work on it, officer. Leave your phone. I can't guarantee you anything. I'm not making any promises.
All right, thank you.
But I think we can make an effort. Leave your phone number with Bernie, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, hang on. Here's Jaleel from Boston on line 3. What do you want?
Good morning, Guy Man, and Happy New Year.
Hear about our ratings in Boston?
Super, that's what I'm calling.
Exploded.
Oh, always.
Yeah.
I am the number 1, by the way, fan in Boston.
Not always. I mean,
Always.
we sucked for a while. What's up?
I sent you something on the mail. Did you get it?
What?
I sent you a package.
I don't open the package.
A package from Jaleel.
I got a package from Jaleel, yeah.
Hey, Julie, I'll get that. Let me open that one.
It was the powder you
I
said.
meant, no. I brought from Iran a real pistachio nuts and dates. I know Mrs. Ayman into natural stuff.
Oh.
These are naturally growing, no hormone involved whatsoever. So,
You should have sent it to Lori. She's the only one eating Iranian nuts around here.
Well, that will be. Oh, come on here. I mean, that's just stupid. Here on line 4 is also from Boston is Dennis. Good morning, Dennis.
Hey, boss. That's too good. I can't follow that.
Well,
Take a sip of your drink. Compose yourself.
what do you want?
How am I supposed to follow that one?
I don't know.
Oh.
What do you want?
Yeah, I was going to tell you a great story. I haven't talked to you for a while, but
Good.
I was in Vegas in October.
Yeah.
And I got on Route 15. I saw the sign to Phoenix. I said, well, I always wanted to go back to Route 66. I haven't been there in quite a while.
Yeah.
So I hit the road. Sure enough, I get to I get to, what's that town in the mountains there? Ends with an A. Huh?
Flagstaff?
Yeah, Flagstaff, exactly. And I stopped in a bar and I had a beer and I said I was heading down to New Mexico. I wanted to see the Imus Ranch. I heard they grew up around here somewhere, but so some guy overheard me. He says, let me tell you a little story about the Imus boys. He says, years ago, I was watching them walk back from the bar near their hometown in Arizona. And they were walking back, and they saw a sheep
head was stuck in the fence. Hello?
I'm here.
It's Holiday Sports Talk with Mac and Sid to take you up to Mets baseball at 12:30 when the Mets wrap up their 4-game series with the Florida Marlins. And after the game, keep it here for New York Sports Talk with Richard Neer, followed by NHL playoff hockey as the Colorado Avalanche meet the Detroit Red Wings in Game 5 of their Western Conference Final Series. So keep your radio locked in all day today for New York Sports Talk and the best games in town here on The Fan. Sports Radio 66, WFAN, New York.
Many a used car.
Andy? Well, here it is. Dr. Spock's Baby and Child Care by Benjamin Spock. For better or worse, this thing has helped raise generations of Americans, from the greatest to the not-so-hot, I suppose. I've been thumbing through Dr. Spock's words of wisdom in the wake of the Johnny Jihad story. You know, John Walker Lind, the Taliban kid. Let's see. Here's eat your vegetables. Here's pick up your toys. But darned if I can find one thing in here that says convert to Islam, grow your hair down to your ass, study Arabic, join religious nuts, fight shoulder to shoulder in opposition to the government of the United States. Well, I probably just haven't run across that paragraph yet, I guess. It's pretty clear that Johnny's parents did, though, or some other weird, half-baked 1960s feel-good Northern California save the rainforest bullshit parenting theory. Did you catch these two the other day at Johnny Jihad's initial court appearance outside Washington? Dad, Frank Lind, spouted the following for the press. John did not take up arms against America. He never meant to harm any American. John loves America. Loves America? That slays me. The only thing I could figure was that Frank, for who knows why, must have been making some bizarre tangential reference to John McCain, because he sure as heck couldn't have been referring to his kid, the lad who'd gone from green eggs and ham to the cat with the Koran. You've got to wonder just how naive these people think we are. As naive as they were when they were raising this human abscess. His mom, Marilyn Walker, they're divorced, you know. His dad moved in with a lover, no, not female, and she took up Buddhism. Well, that sounds stable enough, huh? Anyway, Marilyn also met the press the other day and intoned regarding Johnny going Islam on us, quote, "It's good for a child to find a passion." Well, sure, but what's wrong with Hot Wheels or a f***ing catcher's mitt, maybe? Okay, Dad's in a sensory deprivation tank with a gay guy in San Francisco's Castro district. Mom's sucking on a crystal, raking sand, and shaving her head. Hey, I think I'll go Arabic and learn to fly a crop duster in Yemen. Now, that's what I call the all-American nuclear family. Face it, these people shouldn't have been allowed to raise vegetables, much less a kid. Empirical proof, though, that in the child-rearing realm, it really is garbage in, garbage out. I don't know what you think, but I think what we should be seeing there in that courthouse in Virginia is the family that goes wacko together stands trial together.
Among the Taliban, there lived a young boy caked with filth and blood, a treasonous weasel named Johnny Jihad, who learned to read and write, speak Arabic so well, so he could pray to Allah, death to all the infidels. Go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, go, Johnny Jihad. John Walker's got his face all over Al Jazeera. When his mama told him daddy's left me for a man, Johnny started memorizing every word in the Koran. Went to Yemen just to go learn all about Islam. Told his parents from now on to call him Suleiman. Go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, go, Johnny Jihad. To the CIA, caught up with him, dragged him right back to the USA. Mom and Daddy said our little baby Taliban loves his country, he's a really fine American.
from the firing squad. Go, go. Go, Johnny, go, go. Go, Johnny, go, go. Go, Johnny, go, go. Go, Johnny, go, go. Johnny Jihad.
From Washington, D.C., new center of the world, Mutual brings you the most revealing half hour in radio. Meet the Press, America's press conference of the air. Here in person to give you the answers to some of the questions you would ask is Whitaker Chambers.
Here's Eddie Folliard with the first question.
Mr. Chambers, in the hearings on Capitol Hill, you said over and over again that you served in the Communist Party with Alger Hiss. Your remarks down there were privileged. That is to say, you were protected from lawsuits. Hiss has now challenged you to make the same charge publicly. He says that if you do, he will test your veracity by filing a suit for slander or libel. Are you willing to say now that Alger Hiss is, or ever was, a communist?
Alger Hiss was a communist and may be now.
Mr. Reynolds?
Imus in the morning. Now showing on the Star Super PAC. The lump in
Gotta come up with a different
It's
name.
not that hard.
What was the name you were using when you initially came here?
Carlo.
Oh, okay.
But that's not my name. It was a fake name.
Right.
How about Christy Cans?
So now you're offended at what Charles wrote? Is
Well,
that
I mean, it wasn't very nice to Lori.
Musumeci.
Musumeci.
You care about Lori's
It wasn't
feelings.
very nice.
Look, Bernard.
Please.
You're right. It wasn't very nice to Lori, Charles.
It wasn't.
No,
It was-
I'm offended.
And I
What?
take issue with the statement that I don't have journalistic ability or my...
Absolutely.
Well, you wrote it, so what are you absolutely about?
Did you write she didn't have any journalistic ability?
Oh, no. I said, I questioned
Something
ability.
like that.
Absolutely
Experience.
not.
What did you say?
Well, the senator said that
The senator-
the senator was drawing a comparison
Right.
between the years in service
Right.
to the field of journalism
Right.
between Ms. McNichol
Right.
and Mrs. Maca.
Mrs.
Whatever.
Christy.
Ms. Macadamia. And that was all.
It was all what?
That's just all. That one had a longer career than the other in this arena.
Quite a longer career, according to you.
Many years, yeah.
Well, is she even in news? I mean, it's a different career. We do different things.
She used to write.
Actually,
Lori.
she used to.
She used to write news
Yes.
for Wins or
Yes.
CBS or somebody.
Yes,
So
she
she
did.
does have a storied history, doesn't
Absolutely. And a good one. I
So
find.
what is she?
Yeah, I want to see how Charles.
What has been
face
her? What has been her reaction to you, Christy?
What? Yeah, no, nothing. You know, we're in the
Just-
opposite ends of the room.
Still not speaking.
A couple of computers.
Sharon Arafat. I think that sums it up.
All right, 9 minutes. All right, thanks, Christy. Christy will be back. So will Lori. Well, now this is really disturbing. Sid Rosenberg is here.
Now what?
And there's no bigger low-life degenerate than Sid. And one of the things I was going to say to him, the one I noticed here the past week or so,
Morning, I meant.
that he comes in and he doesn't tuck his shirt in, and I thought, man, those shirts don't fit. But I thought, well, he's getting fat or whatever. The guy's out of shape. He's just a big mush ball. So turns out that the cleaners sends a bunch of shirts to Sid that are not his. What would any normal person do? They'd send them back. Not Sid. He keeps them and has been wearing them.
No, he didn't.
Oh, yes, he did. Yes, he did.
No, he can't.
Yes, he did.
Wait a second.
Yes.
That's not necessarily.
What?
Let me explain myself.
Have Julie get me some coffee, by the way. You want any?
Yeah, I
Take 2 cups of coffee here. Mine's black. I don't know how you take it.
I took 14 items to the dry cleaners a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
I did get 20 back.
Right.
There were 2 shirts from the Banana Republic, two Ralph Lauren,
Yeah.
and 2 other fancy shirts.
Yeah.
Well, I took 2 back to Macy's and got cash back for them. No, you gotta
No, you
get out of
didn't.
here.
Oh,
You couldn't do that.
Yes, I said I lost the receipt.
You did?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you're a
And I'm
common
wearing the
criminal.
other 4.
You're like you're
How much in debt are you?
good.
Wait a second.
Lord.
Wait a second.
Well, you're like a. I mean, that's
John,
a
that's
Walker
like
Lynn.
trash.
That's a degenerate.
You need a team of doctors. If somebody sent you stuff,
Did
okay?
you see that Monday Night Mayhem?
Yes, I did.
You know who you reminded me of?
Who? Chet 40?
Chet 40. Really? I mean, if you were an actor, They'd have cast you in the Shed 40 part.
Let me ask you a serious question.
Yeah.
You're walking in the street right now. You're
Right.
going back to the limo with Brant at the end of the day.
Right.
outside the studios is a wallet with $1,000.
Right.
No ID inside the wallet.
Right.
What do you do?
Take it to the local precinct.
Take what to the precinct?
The wallet and the money.
No, that's a little different anyway.
It's totally different.
But why would you do that?
Cash.
Well, why would you do that? Well, what good is that? So some cop is going to take the money? Well, why would you take it to a local precinct?
I wouldn't assume, one, that a cop is going to take the money.
I absolutely would
That's
not.
the first thing I wouldn't assume.
Okay, I would definitely
Number
assume that.
two,
Right.
It was right and wrong.
I would figure that somebody would go by and say, I lost my wallet. I didn't have any ID in it. And
Ridiculous.
Did anybody turn something in just on it?
Now, if there was ID, you would try to find the person and call them up? Or would you take the cash and then call the person and say, hey, I found your wallet with your credit cards and your license, but somebody took the cash out of your wallet?
No, I would not do that.
You wouldn't do that?
Wouldn't even think about it.
Of course you would think about it.
No, I mean, the thought
It's human nature to think about it, Charles.
No,
How's that
it's
a human
dishonest.
nature?
What do you mean it's dishonest?
I would call the person and say, I found your wallet. They'd
Yeah?
say, thank you very much.
So you wouldn't even think about taking the cash?
No.
And if a Chinese laundry dropped off a bunch of shirts at your house that weren't yours, you wouldn't even think about wearing the
No,
shirt?
I said,
course
if I
not.
say you gave me some shirts that aren't
First of
mine.
all, no, I wouldn't. No, wouldn't consider it.
What are you talking about?
Particularly the fact they don't fit you, Sid.
But they're nice shirts. You have to admit that, no?
You are a
A
degenerate.
lot nicer than you would ordinarily wear, yes.
Hey, here we going to the beach. Grab a couple of toys and let Dada strap you in the car seat. Oh, where's Mama? She's taking a little nap in the trunk. Sit back in the chair, honey. Quit trying to climb out. Wake up, sleepyhead, we're here. Before we pray, we're gonna take Mommy for a bit of walk along the pier. Haley, don't cry, honey. Don't get the wrong idea. Mama's too sleepy to hear you screaming in her ear. That's why you can't get it awake. But don't worry, Dada made a nice bed for Mommy at the bottom of the lake. Here, you wanna help Dada tie a rope around this rock? We'll tie it to her footsie, then we'll roll her off the dock. Ready now? Here we go. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Whee! There goes Mama splashing in the water. No more fighting with Dad. No more restraining order. No more stepdad. No more new brother. Blow her kisses bye-bye. Tell Mama you love her. And we'll go play in the sand, build a castle and jump. But first, help Dad with 2 more things out the trunk. Imus in the morning.
Well, it's only summer, but isn't it time you finally did something with your tedious life?
Yesterday, but held on and beat the Celtics 94-92. Series tied 2-2, as is the Lakers-Kings series. Paul Pierce had a chance to tie the game with a second left. Missed the first one, purposely missed the second one, which was great, the way he rammed it against the backboard. Tony Battie got the rebound but couldn't put it in, which would have tied the game.
Right.
So the Kings, by the way, now 2-point favorite tonight in Sacramento. Now, I've got the theory, man. I've thought about it for the whole weekend.
Right.
That food poisoning theory.
Oh, okay.
Here it is. The gambler. Here it is. The gambler.
Here we go.
Remember Kobe Bryant, food poisoning, cheeseburger and cheesecake.
In Sacramento.
In Sacramento, in the hotel.
Worst thing to eat, by the way, any place. A cheeseburger, any kind of dairy product, but particularly in a restaurant or better name. Go ahead.
Okay. Here's what happened. The gambler, let's say he bets $5 million on the game.
Sure.
Kings are 2.5-point favorite.
I hear you.
All right. He bets $5 million that the Kings will beat the spread. They'll not only win, but they'll win by more than 2.5.
Yeah.
So he's got to insure his bet. So there's only 2 guys you want to get, right? Kobe and the Shaq. He doesn't care about Fox or anybody. So he gives, who's the last person to touch the food before you eat it in a hotel?
Well,
the room service waiter.
Well, you hope.
So he gives the room service waiter $50,000 and says, look, if Kobe or the Shaq order room service, you put the salmonella in the hamburger, whatever it is.
Right.
And here's $50,000. Well, that's it. Now, Kobe has played, but he has not had a breakout game, missed that easy layup, which would have tied the game.
Oh.
So that's the theory. Saying the Kings won by 6 points. That's the theory.
He didn't have salmonella poisoning. He just got sick.
You know, even more outrageous than that, Warner has this, we just learned now, Warner's been in a few of these movies
Only the shadow knows.
with non-speaking parts. Now you have a speaking part, right?
Yes.
Now, who's in this movie?
Kate Hudson, which Goldie Hawn's daughter,
Sure.
and Matthew McConaughey.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's called 10 Ways to get a 10 Ways to than ways to forget the title
You know,
of the
this
movie.
sounds to me like direct-to-video.
No. It's a Paramount picture.
Yeah, direct-to-video.
No.
All right.
So I play a sportscaster.
What?
I'm a sportscaster.
Okay.
Doing 2 Knick games on different days.
Why didn't they get Breen? So Nick games?
Yeah.
Or get Marv?
Well,
this is outrageous.
Maybe they were busy. Maybe I was third choice. I don't know. So we shot it, and the scenario.
Food?
What?
Somebody put something in Breen's
Yeah,
food?
that's right.
Or Marv's?
Right. So the scenario is that Kate Hudson and Matthew McConaughey are big Knick fans.
Sure.
And on different days they're watching the game, and they go on to meet each other. So, but anyway, it was a good part.
I don't think this counts.
Doesn't count. Speaking.
No, but if you're like I get offered disc jockey talk show roles all of the time.
Speaking.
Yes.
As a principal actor.
And I turn them down. I just turn them down. I've never done one. Nor would I. But I mean, look, I'm not an actor to start with. That's number one. But number two, I'm not going to do that and further make a fool of myself. But at any rate, you can't. You need to accept a role, and we're not impressed at all. You need to accept a role that's outside your prowess.
So you have to stretch yourself.
Yes. This is no stretch for you to do a Knicks game other than you're screwing Marvin Breen. So, I mean, that's all that is.
You should be the coach of the Knicks.
That's right.
Yeah.
Or a cab driver or something.
Yeah.
All right.
No, that's not good.
But get that done. It's very weak.
So what's the spread tonight with it? You said 2 points,
2
right?
points.
Okay.
Tonight is 2 points.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if who knows?
Kings should be up 3-1.
They won't.
As should the Nets. The Nets and the Kings should be up 3-1.
Well, guess what?
They're not.
They're not.
Say so long to Pete Sampras, knocked out again in the first round. This time by Andre Gaudenzi of Italy. Sampras committed 97 unforced errors.
Might be time to.
It just very well might be.
That's 28 consecutive tournaments without a win since he won the Wimbledon in July of 2000. Syracuse won the NCAA lacrosse championship, beating Princeton. You know, of course, the greatest Syracuse lacrosse player of all time.
Jim Brown.
That's it. That's it. Hi, man. That's right. And you also know that the national game of Canada, is lacrosse, not hockey.
Hey, how did that Toronto Maple Leafs Carolina Hurricanes thing come out?
Hurricanes, Toronto won the last game 1-0, so the Hurricanes lead 3-2.
Oh.
And the Avalanche leads Detroit 3-2. So it could be a Colorado Hurricane Stanley Cup final.
I see.
Sounds exciting.
And here's a story. You know, you get these stories once in a while. You wonder.
How many sets do we have left?
2.
Okay.
Time for this one?
Yeah.
30? Okay. 2 suspects broke into the vehicle of Eagle linebacker Sean Barber.
Sure.
They stole his briefcase, which included his playbook.
Oh, man.
You know, Eagle playbook.
Yeah.
You know, a team loses a playbook. That's no good.
We know.
Right? So the Philadelphia Press really played this story up because Barber, it was a police report. And it got out of hand. So the 2 guys who broke into the car said, oh, man, this is hot.
Yeah.
So they threw it into the sewer, the playbook, the Eagles playbook. So the police fished the playbook out of the water, gave it back to Barber. The thieves were caught because they also stole Barber's cell phone and used it. They called friends to brag about the robbery and then called Barber to harass him. So police traced the cell phone call.
How'd they call him if they had his phone? Guess he had another phone.
Yeah, call him on another number. But I mean, how stupid I mean, you got to be pretty dumb, right?
Remember one time,
The players.
one time the Indiana Pacers, wasn't it the Indiana Pacers?
Yes, it was.
They were playing the Knicks, and one of their players left his playbook. I forget the guy's name.
He went to St. John's.
Malik Sealy.
Yeah.
He left his playbook in a phone booth at the airport, and some cop or fireman gave it to me, right?
Fireman, yeah.
Yeah. And so we tormented them for a while.
Yeah. During the playoffs against the Knicks.
What did I do with that? I was reading plays on the air, right?
Exactly.
Oh, it's great.
He was tormented, and then he actually came in subsequent to that. And poor Mr. Sealy has since departed us.
He has?
Yeah.
He's in the car crash.
Oh, God. That was awful. Well, he was a very good sport about it, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
And a lovely kid, but...
But they lost the series.
Right.
So, the Indianapolis 500, you know about that. You had a dispute at the end.
Yeah.
Right?
Turned down.
Has that been resolved?
It's finally resolved, and the Indianapolis Racing League turned down Paul Tracy's protest.
Oh, they did.
So Elio Castroneves is the winner.
For the second year in a row, right?
Second year in a row, that's right. Only 5 other guys.
And Mark Martin won the Coca-Cola 600. He hadn't won a race in about 200 years. And that's some deal with some sponsor where if he won, he got an extra $1 million. And some fan got $1 million. And a woman who was on the U.S. Capitol Police Force, and she happens to be a NASCAR racing fan. So he won the race, and the odds of him winning the race were not good.
Yeah. 43 years old.
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson led the race for, I don't know how many laps it was, but he led about 300 laps. And so Mark Martin won $1 million. This woman won. Wow. Fan won $1 million as well. So she was pretty jacked up about all that.
Yeah.
And Jeff Gordon, the rest of them, is running back there with Kyle Petty. Those guys, they're just not getting it done. They're just out there driving around in circles.
Still going around.
Yeah, they're not going to win anything. So. Dale Jarrett's not winning anything anymore.
Oh, no.
Bill Elliott's never going to win again. So, all those guys.
Ricky Rudd.
He's not going to get it done. Ricky Craven, those people. So it's over. So
your brother likes Ricky Rudd. He always picks him.
They're not getting it done. None of them. So, yeah. Mark Martin's getting it done. They have a bunch of guys 20 years old driving race cars now who are doing well because they're getting good equipment, good cars, and all that. So the guys who are in their 40s are resentful of it's a mess. So, but I'm happy to see that there's some.
Certainly.
Yeah, new blood. That's good.
Yeah, but I'm also happy to see that there's
some agony.
Yeah, some hideous agony. People all hate each other. Well, that's great. So.
Hello, darling.
Imus in the morning.
Imagine for a moment that you're driving home to let your dog out. You're late, and because your dog needs...
Hello, I love you. Won't you tell me your name? Imus in the morning.
Do it now at all Tri-State Applebee's. With reports every 20 minutes, this is John Minko, WFAN 20 Sports.
There's only one place to hear New York Mets baseball, and it's right here on your flagship station for New York sports, The Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York.
My name is Kate.
My way around the kitchen. But everything I know about cooking, I learned from my mother. She taught me how to do the right thing, to use only the finest ingredients. So that's all that goes into Joey Pots and Pans pasta sauce. The ripest Italian tomatoes, the freshest onions, the biggest heads of garlic, and the best extra virgin olive oil. My mission is to bring you the flavor of Italy combined with the taste of New York, direct from my mother's stove all the way to your kitchen. So do the right thing for your family by doing the right thing for your pasta. Give them both the quality, freshness, and authentic homemade taste of Joey Pots and Pans pasta sauce. Not for nothing, but this sauce didn't just fall off a truck. It's the real deal. You don't believe me? Just ask Tommy Treehelpins. He knows what's good. Joey Pots and Pans pasta sauce.
Available as Stu Leonard's, world's largest dairy store, Yonkers in Connecticut. Garden of Eden Gourmet Market in Grace's Marketplace, New York City.
Now, you're going to think I'm crazy, but Joey Pots and Pans pasta sauce is better than Rayo's. I mean, I don't know, I don't explain how, but soon it won't be better than Imus Ranch pasta sauce, which is coming soon, which is simply going to be Joey's.
Relabeled?
But it's really good stuff. It's a goofy name and all that kind of stuff, but I'm telling you, try a jar of it. It's unbelievable stuff, isn't it?
It is better than, I don't know how to say it better than say it's better than Rayo's, and you've said you cannot get a superlative better than that.
So Joey's up to something. Of course, you might find a thumb in it, but...
Yeah, but it's unbelievable. If that's the secret, fine.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Well, any big traffic accidents, not Joey. What would your name be now? Lori.
Lori?
Yeah. Just quickly, you have 5 seconds.
Yeah. Okay, in Teaneck, eastbound 80, you've got a slow ride through exit 68.
Is there a big accident there?
Well, there's an ongoing investigation of an earlier fatal accident, so the right lane's closed.
I bike up mountains, and I can take pain, but I can't take sunscreen that runs into my eyes and stings.
Coppertone Sports Sunscreen is ultra sweat-proof.
With the great Warner Wolf.
Don't dig into the day you die.
It's all according to how your boogaloo situation stands, isn't it?
Have mercy. Good morning, Warner.
Good morning, man. NBA playoffs last night. The Kings beat the Lakers 92-91 on Mike Bibby's 22-footer with 9 seconds left. Kobe, who had 30, missed a game-winning shot with 2 seconds left.
Well, the Lakers had the ball with a little over 8 seconds left.
Right.
And as Lou said, they gave the ball to Kobe, and everybody knew that was going to be the play. I mean, even the announcer said that.
That's your Superman right there.
Yeah.
And Shaq had fouled out of the game.
Right.
And he couldn't make the shot.
No, he didn't make the shot. Bobby Jackson was all over him.
Yeah.
I don't know what the secondary play was. Maybe it was Deore. But Kobe, maybe he couldn't see him or decided, hey, I'm going to take it anyway, and that was it.
Oh, he took it and he missed it.
Yeah.
So now they go back and they play in L.A., and then the 7th game would be in Sacramento, right?
Absolutely.
There's not going to be a 7th
If there is a 7th game.
Right.
Except for Horry's shot, this series is over.
Right.
4 games to 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, how will the Nets play tonight?
Tonight, yeah.
Right.
And that game's in
the swamp.
Meadowlands.
Right.
3-point favorite.
How will
Nets.
that go?
I think the Nets will win.
What do you think?
The Nets will win tonight.
All right.
And the Celtics will take it back on the parquet floor, babe.
Yeah, but that would only even the series.
How many planks were in the original parquet floor to guard?
You must know. Is this
You think so, Warner?
Is this a Ron Ancena setup?
No, I'm just wondering how many were there.
I'd say 48 times 2, 96.
96 what?
You said how many plaques? How many...
Planks.
Planks, yeah.
On the floor. How many boards?
How many boards? Oh, man. Well, each one was 4 by 8.
Somewhere around 17,000.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
17,000.
I used to know exactly, but I mean, I could be off now, but I think that was what it was. Anyway, what else, Warner?
All right, what else? Tonight, I'll tell you what's an amazing story came out in sports today.
Why are you here today? Where's Sid? You're filling in for Sid?
Yeah.
This is not a good career move.
No, filling in
You go
for
from a
Sid,
talking
no.
role in a movie to filling in for the premier degenerate on the planet.
Yeah, this is a low point in my career. A Sid Rosenberg replacement.
That is not good.
Not good.
No, that is awful.
You know,
for Sid.
Yeah, that's right. I was thinking about it all night. I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
I said, geez, 41 years of broadcasting.
Yeah.
April Fool's Day, 1961, I started.
Yeah.
Did the Olympics, Monday Night Baseball.
That'll be fine.
You know,
No, go ahead. Oh, that's right. We do need to know what you did.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
A distinguished career.
Yeah.
Relegated to a Sid Rosenberg substitute.
That is not
That's not good.
No, that's awful.
No.
It's like me filling in for Scott Shannon. Imus and Toby, or whatever the guy's name is, yours. That would not be good. That's just, you don't want your career to wind up that way. So.
Yeah. So today, Sports Illustrated comes out with an article written by Ken Caminiti.
Right.
Played 15 years, Braves, Astros, and Padres. He says more than half the players in baseball take steroids. He says in 1996, he had career highs, hit 326, 40 homers, 130 RBIs, and won the MVP. Said it was because of steroids. But he said at the end of the season, his testicles shrank, and it took 4 months to get his testicles to drop back into the normal position.
Wow.
That was from steroids.
Yep.
And of course,
Why do we need to hear this?
well, I'm just saying the damage it could do.
Oh,
Sure.
Yeah.
Serious health ramifications
Yeah.
of, shrinking
Testicles,
onions.
yeah.
Right.
And we know it damages the liver
Yep.
and the heart. And he says the guy, it's so blatant that guys' heads get big. And so the players around the league joke about it, and they call a guy potato head because they know he's on steroids.
Right.
And doctors say that may be the reason why more guys are on the disabled list and for a long period of time.